Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to the channel again, and welcome if you're new here. This video I am going to be talking about the week I've had, and also because it's been really hard, I've been starting to read a lot more on overcoming body image issues and motivational stuff for recovery, ongoing recovery. Because I've been finding it really tough. So this week I had a really triggering appointment with my dietitian, and ever since then I've kind of been in a little bit of a slide mentally and just kind of feeling sort of triggered and wanting to go backwards and restrict and stuff like that. And it's really common at this point in recovery, and this is the point at which I have always relapsed and just fell straight back and gone a really long way back, and haven't restricted or anything yet, but it's just becoming really tempting, and I wanted to be honest and share that with you guys. I think I'll say it later in the video, but the hardest part of recovery is the point where you feel like you are going to go backwards, and that is for me starting to happen now. And it's kind of easy when you're at the very beginning, because you're just dealing with physical problems and you're not really worried about, weight gain, because you know that it's really, you have to. But when it becomes to this point and you're going, okay, everything's healthy, I'm perfectly, well, I'm functioning and stuff like that, it becomes harder to justify continuing to feed yourself properly. And it's all about the physical stuff at the beginning, and feeling like the weight gain isn't going to stop. So it's a really scary place for me to be in. So yeah, I just wanted to share that, and I'm sure that there's lots of you that can relate, especially if you've been dealing with an eating disorder as long as I have. I just read an article this morning, and it was by a woman who had been anorexic, and she had been anorexic for a long time, and when she eventually did go into physical recovery, she ended up having body image issues and body hatred for many years. And a lot of people say that body weight restoration eventually means that your brain will catch up and all will be well and sweet, and you'll eventually start to at least accept your body. But then, there's obviously other people who never do. And I just want to know what you think about that. I have managed to get through all my food again today, even though it's just getting harder and harder, because every day I just feel like my body is getting bigger, or it's bigger than it was yesterday. It's probably not true, but I still actually, am gaining. And just the small things like putting on underwear is triggering for me, and putting on anything that goes around the waist. I still have, that whole recovery belly thing going on, where I don't actually mind my belly being bigger. It doesn't bother me at all, but the rest of my body is growing too, and so I'm really struggling with that. I'm not fitting into the, I guess, really tiny, too small clothes that I have worn since I was a kid. The same sizes, even some of the same clothes that have stayed nice, I've still been able to wear until recently, and apart from other times where I've gained weight. And this is the point where I've always fallen backward. Anyway, what I wanted to read to you guys was some notes that I've made, so I've just written them down, and these are about why I should stay on track and keep doing what I'm doing. So some of these things are things that I've read online in blogs and things, and some of them are things that are personal to me and my situation. So I'm going to read you some of those. Maybe they'll help me to reread them a lot, and maybe they'll help you too. So my first one is, My body loves me even though I don't love it, and it's done so much for me despite how much I have betrayed it. Next one, I may not love or even like my body, but it's important to remember how it has kept me alive, and it just wants me alive, and it just wants me healthy. It's just a vehicle, and it's doing its best to run for me. I have goals that require me to be recovered, and some of them are big and some of them are small. Another one is that I'm 37 years old and I don't want my whole life to, any more of my life. It's already been 24 years or so. I don't want any more of my life to have been about being underweight, being eating disordered. I know that it's part of my identity, or it has been part of my identity for a quarter of a century, but do I want it to keep going that way? No, I don't. It's not something that I want to be remembered for. Yeah, I'd rather make my life about some other things, and I mean, my life does have other things in it, but I'm mentally still consumed, and I do not want to still be consumed with this for any more time. But I mean, obviously I am at the moment, because I am going through this really rough patch. This is the time when all those recovery stories and recovery quotes really matters. It's right now. I don't want the rest of my life to be like this, because I kind of know that if I went backwards now, I wouldn't ever try again. The last few months, which was probably the hardest physical recovery I've been through, because it was probably the worst physical state that I'd come from. It seems like a waste to kind of throw that all away. And if I was to do that, I think what was the point of it all? Where would all that experience and all that understanding go if I was just to go backwards? And one of the things I'd really like to be able to do one day is to help other people, and be able to help from a recovered place rather than a recovering place, or a really insecure place where I am now. So it just seems like it would be a kind of waste if I'd come all this way and then I quit. One that really hit me was, in a year's time you'll wish you kept it up. In a year's time, you're going to wish you'd started recovery today, or you're going to wish that you hadn't given up. I don't need any more regrets, and I don't want giving up on recovery now to become another regret. When is the point that you start getting used to your new body? How long do I have to wait? How long do I have to put up with this horrible discomfort before I start getting used to my new physical self? I just want to get to that point where at least I'm used to it. At least I can be a little bit more neutral about it. And yeah, I just don't know how long that's going to be. If anyone has any feedback on that, I'd really love to hear how long it took for you to feel at least used to your body, and at least to be able to be neutral enough to stay recovered. Anyway, thanks for listening to this little list of things that have been crossing my mind lately, and I hope it was helpful to some of you who might still be struggling too, because it does help me reading those things and thinking about them. It's getting harder and harder to justify continuing to eat and not to relapse. This is when it actually counts. This is when recovery stuff and reading all this stuff actually really counts. And so that's why I'm doing it. I just wish I could promise you guys something. Yeah, I really appreciate that you guys listen and you're there for me. And just, I want you to know I'm there for you too. Yeah, thank you. So thanks for watching the video, guys. If you ended up getting all the way through, I really appreciate it. I'm not sure exactly what to do for my next video, but I have a couple of ideas and still thinking about it. I'd really like to give you guys a break from all the weight stuff and body image stuff. I know that I talk about that so much, but it's just that it's a huge thing right now. So I'm giving it some thought, and I hopefully will be back soon with a new video. And yeah, just a reminder, if you liked the video, click the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.